From a public and media perspective, United Airlines hasn't been having a great 2024 thus far. Indeed, when examining incidents logged by the Aviation Herald and other sites, the Star Alliance carrier has already experienced a long list of incidents, many of which required diversions. In fact, there were so many incidents within a short period of time that the FAA decided to review the airline's operations. Indeed, in late March, it was reported by the New York Times that an airline memo to employees stated, "We will begin to see more of an FAA presence in our operation as they review some of our work processes, manuals, and facilities. We welcome their engagement and are very open to hearing from them about what they find and their perspective on things we may need to change to make us even safer." Our list of incidents is actually not exhaustive, as there were a number of false alarms and indications we decided to exclude. And so for today's video, let's focus on some noteworthy incidents experienced by United Jets since the start of 2024. The first incident of the year, at least recorded by the Aviation Herald, saw a United Boeing 757-200 experience a loss of cabin pressure on January 6th. The aircraft flying from Newark to Denver had to divert to Chicago. On January 24th, an Airbus A321neo flying from Chicago to Las Vegas had to stop its climb due to an engine failure. The crew shut the engine down and returned to Chicago for a safe landing. On January 28th, a United Boeing 737-800 flying from Las Vegas to Washington Dulles had to divert to Denver. It was reported that one of its windshields developed cracks, prompting the diversion. Days later, on January 31st, there was another 737-800 incident. Flying from Charlotte to Houston, the aircraft diverted to Atlanta for a safe landing. According to information received by the Aviation Herald, the loss of engine oil prompted the shutdown of the left-hand engine in flight. On March 4th, a 757-300 flying from Hawaii to San Francisco declared emergency, reporting their right-hand engine, a Rolls-Royce RB211, was shut down. Nonetheless, the jet continued for a safe landing in San Francisco. The same day, a 737-900 experienced an engine stall climbing out of Houston. The left-hand engine, a CFM56, emitted a series of bangs and streaks of flames. Nonetheless, it returned to the airport and performed a safe landing. The Boeing 777-200 incident on March 7th is one that many will be familiar with due to its sensational nature and catching the attention of most media outlets. Indeed, before the 777's gear retraction, the inboard aft wheel of the left main gear separated from the gear strut and fell onto the ground. 3 rental cars parked on the ground were damaged, as was a fence. The Aviation Herald reported that an airfield safety employee who was moving debris received injuries as well. The next day, on March 8th, a 737 MAX 8 had landed safely in Houston after a flight from Memphis. However, as per the NTSB report, during the turn onto the taxiway, the captain felt the fuselage and rudder/brake pedals begin to shake violently. He briefly released the brake pressure and the shaking ceased. He then reapplied aggressive brake pressure and the shaking resumed. A post-accident examination of the accident site revealed that the left main landing gear tires had impacted a large concrete manhole designed as an electrical junction box for lights/utilities at the airport. As a result of the impact, the left main landing gear separated from the airplane by design. This is to prevent more severe damage to surrounding structures. The same day, a United Airbus A320-200 flying from San Francisco to Mexico City diverted to Los Angeles reporting a hydraulic failure. The aircraft landed safely in LA without further incident. Then, on March 14th, another A320-200 experienced hydraulic problems. The aircraft had flown from Dallas to San Francisco and completed a safe landing. However, after vacating the runway, emergency services advised that smoke was seen from the landing gear. This is not unusual when hydraulic fluid comes in contact with the hot brakes. The aircraft was subsequently towed to the apron. Then, on March 15th, a United Boeing 737-800 having flown from San Francisco to Medford, Oregon, was found to have a missing panel. Indeed, a post-flight inspection revealed parts of a panel of the left-hand wing root fairing next to the main landing gear were missing from the 737. On March 18th, a United Boeing 767-300ER was climbing out of Newark's runway 22 right when the crew stopped the climb at 12,000 feet due to a problem with the landing gear. The crew proceeded to burn off fuel and return to Newark for a safe landing. Then, on March 26th, United Boeing 767-400ER reported a hydraulic issue near the end of its flight from Berlin to Newark. A go-around was performed, but ultimately a safe landing was achieved and passengers disembarked as usual. 2 days later, on March 28th, a 777-200 flying from San Francisco to Paris diverted to Denver due to an issue with one of its Pratt & Whitney engines. During the diversion, the crew advised ATC that no assistance was needed but requested the longest runway available. The next day, on March 29th, a Boeing 777-300 flying from Frankfurt to San Francisco decided to return to Frankfurt. The reason? Well, passengers reported one of the toilets overflowed and the quote-unquote soup ran into the cabin, complete with a foul odor. The crew initially tried to solve the problem, but ultimately needed to return to Frankfurt. A week later, on April 5th, a 777-200 flying from Rome to Washington Dulles experienced engine issues after takeoff. The aircraft's left-hand engine, a PW4000, emitted a bang and streak of flames due to a compressor stall. The crew returned to Rome for a safe landing. On April 10th, a United Boeing 737-800 flying from Los Angeles to Las Vegas concluded a seemingly uneventful flight, landing safely in Las Vegas. However, a post-flight inspection revealed a panel from the underside of a wing was missing. And finally, on April 22nd, a United Boeing 767-300 flying from Washington Dulles to Munich declared an emergency, reporting a fuel leak. The aircraft returned to Dulles and landed about 80 minutes after declaring the emergency. Anyone closely following aviation will know that aircraft incidents like these are not exclusive to this airline. Additionally, with United having such extensive operations, it's somewhat understandable that the carrier would have more incidents than smaller carriers. At the same time, however, the airline seemed to have quite a lot of issues in the first few months of the year. An awareness of aircraft incidents was undoubtedly raised after the January 5th incident involving an Alaska Airlines 737 MAX 9. What do you think of all these incidents? Let us know by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.